Hello, everybody. Welcome to Monday, December 8th, the Kubernetes SIG Carpenter Community Issue Triage. Here with a couple of folks. We're going to be going through the issues that need triage and talking about them. Needs triage. All right. Got some node overlay issues. I'm glad we got a manual here. We can talk about these. I made a metric of not ready overlays. Yeah, I like it. Any problems with this manual?
Yeah, that's something we're planning that we should. I think that's so definitely something we should. That's like a 5 line PR. You can put it as accepted and assign it to me. I can close this out. But that would be a nice to
Uh,
have. ENGEDA. Yeah, there you go.
I wish you know what we should do? It'd be nice to have labels for like, we should do this before this feature graduation, you
Yeah,
know?
that would definitely be good. I mean, yeah, that actually really be really nice.
I don't particularly want to code that up, but that'd be really nice. Node overlay lacks information about which node pool it applied to. We kind of know this was a problem, right? We punted on this because it's just a lot of work to figure out. It's a lot of, it's complicated to log this information
Right.
digestibly.
Yeah, I mean, we could. Yeah, I mean, we could have like a some kind of like dynamic status condition that would effectively like list all the node overlays that apply to a node pool, but yeah, it's not a clear cut thing.
Uh, I'm even going to say priority important soon. No, what? What did I did a refresh? Yeah, I'm not going to put a priority on this. Causing increase in memory usage. Yeah, I'm going to say triage accepted. Improve error context and controller error handling.
There's a PR link to this one. I've been reviewing it, so it'll probably be sent either Derek or Emmanuel, one of your guys' ways, pretty soon.
Okay, you think it's a thing worth fixing?
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
Let's do. Nodes disrupted without replacement or safety precautions with subnet tag mismatch. Um, as mismatch in subnet discovery tags, even though EC2 class is in a not ready state, nodes continue to get disrupted based on expire after period, which we have set to 72 hours and deleted, but new nodes haven't been created to replace. This made the application go down since pods when in pending. Nodes disrupt and delete only when new nodes could be safely provisioned. I mean, isn't this a gap on you should alarm if your node class goes not ready, right?
You should probably alarm for it, but isn't it still an issue that we're creating a critical incident out of a minor incident?
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's the question of which is the stronger config. Do you want to accept like the expire after? Do we want to treat it as that's what you care about, or do we want to treat your subnet config as that's what you care about, you know? I guess I see the argument for this, where you don't expire after if like your EC2 node class is not ready, but then you could easily see there being a security issue rather than an availability one, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's interesting. I guess the trade-off is you get to make that as the customer. You get to choose is your expire after hard or soft? Because I don't know if there is an answer we can have here that's like definitively this should be the case, you know?
Yeah, it definitely feels like something that could be a config flag for power users. But yeah, it's sort of, even if you have a flag, it's what do you want the default to be, right? Uh,
I mean, I guess we'd choose right now, it's whatever it is right now, just to it, so it's not a breaking change. And then you could opt into the behavior.
yeah.
I'll put these thoughts in here.
It does seem like there's more communication in the provider issue, by the way.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
Forceful was part of the RFC, maximum lifetime for nodes, termination grace period. Yeah. Okay, so it does look like they are also using for best practices, which is like alarm on EC2 node class unhealthy. Um, Any other best practices that would help here? Alarm on node ready, maybe alarm on pod availability. Although if that it happened that all the nodes expired around the same time, then you could still like get an alarm while Karpenter's actively scaling your entire cluster down. I don't think a Carpenter specific metric would say like, hey, by the way, you're going to have an expire after soon, but I can't replace it because your node class isn't ready. I feel like that's just node class not ready again. So, any other comments?
It doesn't sound like there's really any use. There's not really any valid cases for your node class not to be ready. But customers should immediately fix that, at least in my mind, for any kind of active churn to happen or consolidation to occur.
Yeah. I mean, I do think that Carpenter has a couple sharp edges that we would love to iron out here, but mostly in terms of node classes not ready. Like the whole I do a deployment and like my subnets, when I change my subnets, the node class goes unready, but I don't use the old ones. Like I don't reject the new config to say, hey, like your subnets aren't valid. So like I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use the old version. And instead just saying like I'm going to use the new version even if it's broken is like not a great user experience. But that's more of a Kubernetes problem than it is a Carpenter one.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Needs information.
Also, is this more of a provider issue rather than a core issue?
No, it's a core issue. Because expire after is a core feature,
Ah, I see.
I think. Yeah, it's a node pool config, right? Am I crazy? If it is a node class config, then that's a, yeah,
Got it.
it's a node pool config. Which is why this was opened. And then I do think that I gotta remember the label for it. There's a label that says like upstream, triage upstream issue. I can remove these triage. Also, if anybody has any issues they would like to meet us to specifically triage, feel free to drop them in the chat. Just gonna be going by the newest ones until we burn it down. I should probably go by the oldest actually. Because we've got ones back here from July.
We also have one issue in the comment.
Oh, we do. Prioritization on the accepted issue. Oh, wonderful. Max was here last time we did a issue triage, pushing for this issue. Um, if I remember rightly, we just need to, I am going to put a priority accept priority important soon. Just because we need an answer either way. We're not going to let this sit around. Um, Especially because we have a accepted issue for it, or we have a feature for it. We just need to do the review. So I can put it on my lib list. Thanks, Jeremy.
Thank you.
If you want to take a look at the PR, I don't know if you have, and if you want to give it a look, feel free as well. It helps us maintainers if people take a look at the PRs before we do.
Sure. Yeah.
So life cycle hold. Is that the right command? Maybe not. Rows and that's it. Right, nodes to stats. We already looked at that one. Support pods owned by custom daemon set like controllers. Ah, yes. There's that talk. Here it is. So the actual paper. I think I'm going to close this as a duplicate. Node repair graduation. Great question. Node repair respects PDBs when node pool does not have a termination grace period set. If it isn't set, it seems to respect PDBs. This is very odd. Emmanuel, you still on the call?
He had a drop.
Bummer. Doesn't have to keep hitting that. Um, so I think that consolidation issue, classic. I do think that there is another issue for this somewhere. Okay, maybe just this one. No, just this one. There you documentation and accuracy. Yeah, I forgot to say triage accepted. It's an easy. Um, what's the label for? I always forget these. I think there's a downstream label. Area provider of us. Hey, I remember this one. Vertical node scaling within node pool. Fortunately, so the person wants to be able to say like, hey, can I increase my network bandwidth on an instance type? Just like increase it. Um, we can't do this in place, obviously, but you could scale um, the nodes. You could replace them with like a node with larger network bandwidth. I don't think right now that we integrate with network bandwidth at all. Someone could correct me. Like, I don't think it's a resource you can set requests or limits on. I don't know if DRA will handle that or not. I'm not nearly deep enough on DRA to answer that question. And I don't think that there's a way to, I don't think the AWS provider or any other words allow you to schedule requirements based off of bandwidth. Label. Triage. Unresolved. I don't like either of these options. So the issue here is someone wants to be able to say, like, stop Karpenter from blocking, like, block drift with a API, either like a CRD or a admissions webhook to assess cluster health. I think like my preferred workflow would be I would add an annotation to the node pool that then gets read by some third-party controller and gets or like your custom controller, which then applies a PDB to your node pools or taints all your nodes with do not disrupt. Although the do not disrupt taint, you just make sure you can still schedule to it with stuff, and that would prevent you from drifting because you would stop disrupting your nodes. Like I don't know if you could need Carpenter, any changes in Carpenter to do this. Do you folks have thoughts? Nope. Just talking to myself. All right. I'll put my thoughts down. Well, maybe it needs more evidence. Add resource slices to node overlays API. It's in progress. I will have to. Whoa. I will leave this where this is and ping Jason.
I think we're delaying the node overlay RFC, right? I think that
I
was
definitely didn't. We definitely didn't accept the node overlay
okay.
RFC. I just don't know if this is still ongoing
Got it.
or if it's changed to be like they're doing it outside of node overlay, but they're actually doing it.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. I think that's the right priority. Oh, how do you spell it? Oh, no dash between the long term. This is a SS issue. This is a working group issue, not a issue triage. I could add my thoughts, but I mean, has value, but I don't know if linking to like EKS, I don't know if we would want to link to like EKS Auto in the Carp docs being like, use this product, because that feels not great. But being like, I'm a user, I'm I'm widgets.com and I love Karpenter. I use it in production all the time as like a user. Sure. DRA Quack driver, Carpenter EDE. I'll leave these for Jason. He knows if we're doing them or not. I really need to ramp up on DRA. Example does not match text. Yeah. Yeah. Wait, there's a link to issues. I should accept this. Percentage-based resource reservations. Ah, did they open it? Can I close it? Yeah, they did. We should review this during working group. It's information. This is, we'll discuss it in working group. Yes. I will let this get stale and expire. Karpenter doesn't touch pods. Ah, yes. All right. Land. Is that a valid? Guess we'll find out. Nope. Uh, I just close it as not planned. Let's try that. Don't know if that works. Well, I'll figure that out later. This one. Drift detection breaks when a node pool uses a custom requirement key with multiple values. Yeah, I mean, this is a great issue. I mean, it says right here we do it so that user-defined node claim labels and requirements trump retrieved labels. Um, I do think that this isn't well handled by being a map in general. Key to value does not make sense when you can have multiple in the multiple possible values. What I'm curious about is why does it get overridden with the user? Why does it get a random one when you are not assigning it? Because requirements do not result in labels getting added. Definitely an interesting discussion. Let's ask some questions. One more node overlay, and then we can end a little early.
I think I might have responded to this one. We just need to triage needs information.
I'll trust you. And the last one. Oh, I've been looking at this one. I closed that one. There must be another one that's opened. Yes, I know this issue. Uh, fix now? What was that? Critical urgent. Wait, we're on the nose, 4 o'clock. All right, we should be able to refresh and see if the list is down somewhat. I was gonna say awaiting more evidence. Oh, it's not awaiting more evidence. What is that? Needs information? Needs information. All right. All right. Thanks everybody for coming. This has been the working group meeting. As a reminder, if folks want to know where to join these meetings, if you're watching the recording and you missed it and you'd like to know when to show up, they should be available in the Carpenter working group. Here we are, issue triage meetings right here in the README of Coop 6 Carpenter. Feel free to come by and to have your issues looked at if you need them, especially now that we're done mostly with all the needs triage. We might start taking a look at the triage needs investigation or needs information issues as we go along. So thanks for everybody for coming, and I'm going to stop the recording.